Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. So I'm sitting in a little bit of woods right behind the cottage. If you want to see, the cottage is right there. And right behind the cottage there's this big wall of rock and a hill, which is why the cell signal is not quite so good here, because I think on the other side of the wall is the nearest town, and that's where the cell towers are. So right here over the hill and right down at the bottom of the hill, cell signal is not great. Fortunately, I've got decent Wi-Fi. So, today's topic, symptoms or not, I'm going to have a great day. And I know many of you just raise your eyebrows like, are you kidding me? You're nuts, Dan. That's not possible. I can't believe you just said that. Right? Because I can't have a good day if I have symptoms. Because I got to get rid of these symptoms so that I can start having some fun and living my life. Does that sound like your approach to this whole thing? Once I get rid of the symptoms, then I'm going to start resuming activities. Then I'm going to start feeling some joy and happiness and engage with others. If that's your approach, you kind of got it backwards. The folks that I see starting to make progress are those people who understand the cause of the symptoms and have made a decision that, based on the assessments and the evaluation of how your symptoms are behaving, that the perceived danger is the cause of the symptoms, which means you're not actually in trouble. Your body's actually already okay. And so the people who start to make progress are those that take that accurate knowledge and assessment and decision to accept that as the cause of their symptoms and say, regardless of symptoms, I'm going to have a great day. So let's talk about this, because a lot of people go, well, as long as the symptoms are there, I'm struggling, I'm suffering. How can you dare tell me that I can have a good day even with symptoms? Because it's part of the solution, right? The goal here is to teach the brain that we're actually okay. We don't do that by laying on the couch avoiding any sense of symptoms whatsoever, because all we're doing at that point is confirming the brain's belief that movement, living, doing anything is dangerous, and therefore we can't do any of that. And what happens to our lives? Shrinks to almost nothing. People can end up being bedridden, eating 3 foods, not talking to friends anymore because they're so embarrassed about where they are. So a major mindset shift that is available to everybody is the topic of this video. Regardless of symptoms, I am going to have a great day. Because again, whether you live your life or sit at home on the couch or lay in bed, it's very likely that at least in the initial stages, before the brain starts to get the message, that you're going to have symptoms. So why not do that while you start expanding your world, expanding your capacity, building some resilience, and finding the ability to connect with other people, connect with activities, prove to yourself, hey, you know what? I went to the grocery store with symptoms, and you know what? I made it home alive. Why have I been avoiding that for so long? Because if you're waiting for things to be perfect before you venture out at all, you're setting yourself up for rebounds. In other words, if you wait till you're completely pain-free before you start living your life, what's your brain going to do once you start living your life? Brain's going to go, whoa, I thought we were safe at home. What are you doing going out? We have to teach the brain that we're safe going out and doing things and living our lives now. Honestly, that's part of the solution. Because if you start to do normal things, the brain has no choice but to go, look at Dan, he's doing normal things. He must be okay. And even though symptoms are present, the decision that says, I'm going to have a great day anyway, says to the brain, I'm not concerned about this stuff any longer. Show your symptoms little to no concern. Well, how can you possibly do that? Because you know what's causing them in the first place. And you know that through the assessments and through watching your own history and the evidence you've gathered about how your symptoms behave, that this concept called TMS, and I refer to it as perceived danger, pain, and symptoms, because you've come to the conclusion that that's the only thing that makes sense. We don't rule in TMS by looking at medical labels, diagnoses, and imaging studies, or blood test results. That's not how we rule in TMS. We rule out the life-threatening stuff, anything that should be addressed, fractures, infections, cancers, tumors, strokes, heart attack issues. But you rule out all that major stuff. After that, everything else is insignificant. Absolutely insignificant. How are your symptoms behaving? Are they behaving like TMS, like perceived danger pain? Are they intermittent? Do they move sometimes? Do they change sometimes? Are they on, they off? Can they be triggered by things like worrying about going on a trip tomorrow? Can symptoms get worse? Can they get triggered by, exercising yesterday, but today your symptoms are flared? And the worry that I did too much? No. If it was structural, your body would hurt while you were at the gym or while you were taking the walk. And even if it did hurt while you were doing that and it was way worse the next day, it's still an indicator of TMS. If you want to do the assessments, go to painfreeyou.com/start. There's a pain test and an FIT assessment. Do them both. If it says TMS, if it says your brain is creating the symptoms, then that's what it is. Accept it. Make a decision that even if I go out and my body is feeling sensations, just know with certainty these sensations in my body are coming from my brain trying to protect me from a perceived danger. That's it. That's all that's going on. You cannot hurt yourself. You cannot damage yourself by resuming activity. And if you're telling yourself a story that goes, my body's atrophied, my muscles aren't quite as strong as they used to, that may be true, but that's not a reason for you to hurt as bad as you do. Seriously. There's plenty of people who never exercise a day in their life, but they don't hurt. Why? Because we don't need this massively strong built-up body in order to live a pain-free life. If that were the case, anybody who didn't really exercise on a regular basis would hurt, me included. I would like to exercise more, but I haven't really committed to it through most of my life. So I'm not the most fit and in shape person. I don't hurt. Why? Because I trust my body. My body knows what to do. And my brain is unafraid of any sensations. I've taught my brain that perceived danger doesn't have to make me hurt. I can have a stressful life. I can have a stressful event going on. Mom had a stroke, some relationship up and downs. But I don't have to hurt. And I don't, because I've taught my brain that. That's the goal here. Whether you have social anxiety and are worried about other people judging you, whether you've been abandoned before and you're so worried that other people are going to abandon you, whether you've got rageful events in your life that you don't want to deal with because rage is dangerous, whether you've got body positions that cause your symptoms to increase, whether you've got activities that cause your symptoms to increase, doesn't matter. When you know what's going on, that it applies to you, that there's a cure, and that you're capable of implementing it, why care about the symptoms? They're just a false alarm. The siren's going off, but there's no fire, right? So, symptoms or not, you can have a great day. And again, I've had plenty of people in my group coaching say, you know what, Dan, I got an opportunity and I took it and I went out and I had coffee with a girlfriend, or then we went to lunch afterwards. And yeah, I had some symptoms, but I didn't really care. I had a good time. I'm glad I went, because I would have probably hurt sitting at home anyway. And sitting at home, I probably would have suffered more, because I would have been stuck in my head saying, oh, I wish I could have gone and hang out with my girlfriend or whatever. Right? Suffering is not the presence of symptoms. Symptoms are there or they're not, or they're up or they're down, or they're sideways or they're horrible or whatever. The suffering comes from our emotional response to the symptoms, and the suffering comes from our thinking about the symptoms. And our thinking about the symptoms sometimes creates the emotions about the symptoms. So I've always said mindset needs to shift first. So this concept of symptoms or not, I'm going to have a great day, is a huge step in the right direction. to teaching the brain that I'm okay, because you're basically saying, I'm unafraid, I know what it is, I'm making the decision that living my life is more important than avoiding symptoms, because showing the brain is more important than sitting on your couch saying, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. How come my pain won't go away? I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Dan, I'm doing the right things. I'm telling myself I'm safe all day. No, but you're showing your brain that you're still terrified of movement and you're going to avoid the symptoms at all costs. That's not how we get better. We get better by being willing to experience the symptoms and not react or respond with fear or terror or doubt. So, regardless of symptoms, whether symptoms are there or not, make a decision. You're going to have a great day. Say it out loud. Regardless of symptoms, I'm going to have a great day. Doesn't matter if I'm sitting at home, on the couch, or in the bed, going out for coffee, doing something little, maybe walking down to the end of the driveway and back. Regardless of symptoms, I'm going to have a great day. You know why? Because I know what causes symptoms. I know that applies to me. There's a solution, and I know I'm capable of implementing it. So all of this stuff, all of it is temporary. Doesn't matter how long you've had symptoms. It's temporary when you start knowing what's going on, knowing it applies to you, knowing there's a solution, and starting to take the steps to implement these things. You too can get better. If somebody else can, you can. Why? You're both human beings. You both have the same system that functions the same way. Now, we all have different experiences. We all have different levels of fear, different past traumas, different past experiences. But we're all built the same way. And so if you can teach your brain that you're not broken, that you're actually okay, that I'm actually already okay, your brain's going to respond the same way everybody who's gotten better's brain responded, by dialing down the false alarms. So, symptoms or not, I'm going to have a great day. Try it. Consistently. Daily. And if you're struggling during the day, notice, am I ruminating on the thoughts? Am I going down that fear, rabbit hole again? Go back. Look at the pattern interrupt video. That's a good way to kind of cut off those thoughts and go, I'm not doing that again. Hard stop, right? You can do this, folks. I wouldn't be showing up here every single day for over 4 years if I didn't think you could. You want some more help? Check out my group, painfreeyou.com/join. All the details are there. I got your back, folks. I know you can do this, and we'll help you if you need some additional help implementing these things. And if you want to understand better how this whole thing works, go to the start page, painfreeyou.com/start. There's some videos that will explain things and map out both free and paid options to move forward with your recovery. You can do it. So, love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.